Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here today in this multi-country Toastmasters Club chapter meeting. And today we are celebrating diversity. Diversity. And what do you know about diversity? My name is Janet. I'm from Singapore. In my opinion, diversity refers to having everyone together from different countries, different race, different religion, and we are able to blend together and work as a team. This is my definition of diversity. Before we begin, can we have let everyone introduce yourself? Let me go with, shall we invite the timer to introduce yourself first?
Thank you so much, Madam Janet. Correct me if I'm pronouncing wrong your name. Okay, this is Toastmaster Rifa from Bangladesh, and tonight I'm just going to enjoy, and I'm looking forward to learn from all of you from different various kind of countries, and I'm looking forward this amazing meeting.
Thank you, Toastmasters Rifa. Can we have the next person?
Janet's one just introduction. Toastmaster of the day will introduce all the role players. That's how it functions. You can pronounce the club mission and move to the next. We'll go according to the agenda. Yeah, thank you.
The club mission. I don't have the club mission here. Where can I find the club mission?
That's fine. Just pass it on the presiding officer, promote it, distinguished Toastmaster.
Okay, I shall now hand the time to the Toastmasters of the day. Toastmasters Varunda.
Hello. Thank you, Janet. Before we begin the meeting, let me first officially hand over to the presiding officer to welcome everyone, and then let me take it over from him so that we start it in a proper sequence. So, presiding officer Pramod, let me hand the baton over to you to start with a formal introduction and welcome for all the guests.
Distinguished Toastmasters, district officers, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to yet another exciting meeting of Sattvic Toastmasters for Healthy Living. As you know, this is a special meeting, a very special meeting for us because we are nearing our milestone meeting. And suddenly this idea came up that we should celebrate diversity. We should celebrate unity in diversity. And we thought, what is unity in diversity for Toastmasters? If I say that the most benefited class out of COVID is Toastmasters, I'm sure that you all will agree with us. Because during the COVID times, we came up with a different idea to go online. I met Vrunda from Canada. Now we are on talking terms. We are discussing Toastmasters, communications, and leadership. I met Dr. Som from Malaysia because we get to know each other through the meetings. I know Lisa from USA. I know Anne-Marie from a different continent, different country. So this is possible only because of the online meetings. So what does it mean to me? When it comes to diversity in Toastmasters, it is about understanding different cultures. We know that the format of Toastmasters meeting all over the world is the same. We start with SAA, then the president, then the TMOD, and ends in the concluding remark by the president. A format is the same thing. But what is different is that the themes are different, cultural aspects are different, the topic they select for the speech is different. we get to know about a country better. Last week, we had a speech, a beautiful speech by Dr. Stephen Bowie, in which he was talking about the problem, the traffic problem, or the accidents or amputations happened in Singapore or Vietnam. So we get to know more about Malaysia and Singapore through the speeches of Dr. Mary. So we get to know the situation or the NGOs working in the African continent for the welfare of women and children through the speech of Catherine Opondo. So this is how I celebrate diversity in Toastmasters. So today we have gathered here to discuss more about that diversity through the speeches, roles, and different activities. We have a table topic also. I'm sure that Lisa will make it exciting for all of us to celebrate the theme. With these words, I am handing over the baton, control back to the most intelligent, hardworking, and she joined in Toastmasters very recently in 1 year, but within 1 year, she had declared that she is born for the stage and she is here to stay. And with a huge round of applause, let me welcome Toastmaster Vrinda Shashikumar as the TMOD for today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer DTM Pramod, for this kind words. My dear members of the Sattvic Toastmasters community, distinguished dignitaries, and a very special guest from all over the world, from me and from all of us, let me welcome you all to this extraordinary gathering where borders are fading and diversity takes center stage. It is my absolute honor to be the MC for you today as we embark on a journey of global unity and celebrate the theme, which is diversity. As we embark on this journey, may I please invite each one of you to add a splash of color to a chat. Can we share emojis that symbolize your country, represent the cultural diversity? Just make the virtual room vibrant. Let's share some emojis in the chat. It could be hearts, it could be reactions, it could be the earth. Let's add some color to our chat. Wow, looks lovely. Now, let me take this a step further and let me encourage you to add some quote from your country. For example, in Canada, we have this quote which says, "From coast to coast, embracing every shade, Canada where diversity is our greatest strength." I know for India, it is something very simple called unity in diversity. Anything that represents your country, maybe your favorite food, favorite festival. Wow, I can see, be the change you want to see. Gandhi, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. I can see the Halloween symbol from Lisa, from the US. Wow, momos from Nepal. What else is coming? Food, TM Kumar, thank you. Food is such a lovely bonding that creates enthusiasm. Out of many, one people, Jamaica. Alicia, DTM Alicia says, all to help. Diversity binds Malaysians together. Wow. Hong Kong, Asia's world city. Wonderful. Now, let me add something more to this. Before we move further into this, I want to also give you a roadmap of what we are here for today. So I had a small slide here which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is a Sanskrit phrase which says the world is one family, and it emphasizes a global perspective and prioritizes collective well-being over individual interests. And this is something which I think is an ethos even in the workplace. I am an HR professional and my mind always goes back to the workplace or to the day-to-day human interactions. And what we see is everybody around the globe seeks an inclusive and positive workplace culture where the ethos is to let's grow together. In fact, as per a survey by the Society for Human Resource Management, 96% of employees all over the world seek a positive workplace culture. If they have that kind of a work atmosphere, they wouldn't even want to quit their jobs or move further. So that's the importance in the human interaction. And this is how I feel that our human interaction, the day-to-day diversity, the kindness with which we can treat each other will make us a better world for each of us. With this, let me just take you to the roadmap for today. We have some interesting speeches lined up. We have 3 speeches lined up, interesting table topic session, and we have a very special tip of the day, a health tip for you guys. But before we do all this, let me first invite the role players for today. Let me begin by inviting DTM Raghu, who is the general evaluator. Before I invite DTM Raghu, I have to say he is the most versatile Toastmaster that I've ever seen. He is, I think, on his 4th DTM, or he's achieved already 4 DTMs, and he's on his mission to do 101 speeches this year. There's lots to learn from this enthusiastic Toastmaster. And let me just invite DTM Raghu to explain his role as a general evaluator. Over to you, DTM Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vrunda, Toastmaster of today. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is the one slogan on when you enter the Indian Parliament, and it stands for the statement that world is one family. Well, at least it was an eye-opening for me when I traveled across the world virtually, attending different club meetings in almost 145 countries so far. That is eye-opening for me, and it has shown me that irrespective of the background, irrespective of the nationality, and irrespective of our belief system, we are one. And everyone wants to grow, and everyone wants to prosper. Well, at least that's what Toastmaster has been spreading across. What I started 99 years back as just an organization in United States, today has become a global village. And the proof is before you, with so many role players across the world with different nationalities, different backgrounds. Well, as a general evaluator today, my role is to help you to see how you can improve and become a better version. As the goal of Toastmaster is to make you better and better day by day. I have certain role players, but that will be introduced by our Toastmaster of the day. I give control back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Raghu. Next, let me introduce the timer for today. Our timer is Toastmaster Rifat, all the way from Bangladesh. Let me invite Toastmaster Rifat to introduce his role today.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Rifat. I'm representing Bangladesh and US at the same time, actually, because I'm playing 2 roles in different countries. Yes, this is Toastmaster Rifat. I love traveling, and yeah, we can't travel a lot physically, so I do often travel the world like the previous Toastmaster before me, Raghunandasa. Yes, I love to hop into different meetings, and so as per my role, this is timer. I'll be keeping the timing of tonight, and so the timing goes like there are 3 segments in every Toastmaster meeting: prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. But especially for the prepared speech, we are having 2 5 to 7 minute speech, and 1 7 to 12 minute speech. So I'll be showing the cards like sharing my background. You can see already. And apart from that, in table topic, we'll be having 1 to 2 minute, 1 minute green card, 1.5 minute yellow, and at 2 minutes it will be red. And in evolution, it's always 2 to 3 minutes. And at 2, we'll be having the green. At 2.5, it will be yellow, and at 3 minutes it will be red. And after the meeting, I'll be calling by the general evaluator, I'll be sharing my report. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rifat, for explaining the timer role as well as the timer cards and helping us keep our meeting on the flow and on time. Next, let me invite the grammarian for today. Our grammarian is Anne-Marie. She is going to be enriching our language skills. Toastmaster Anne-Marie is here all the way from St. Lucia. Let me invite Toastmaster Anne-Marie to explain her role, please.
Thank you, Madam TMOD. My role as a grammarian is the grammar police, and I want to encourage you to cultivate good English. As a grammarian, I will be listening for word usage, misuse of words, pronunciation, incomplete sentences, and anything else that offends the English language. However, we also want to encourage you to cultivate creative language. And that is our word of the day, cultivate, because together we are cultivating diversity. So I want to hear that word as often as you can. We're going to cultivate good language and cultivate our diversity. Over to you, Madam Tiomodi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anne-Marie, for helping us cultivate and enhance our language skills. Next, we have a very interesting role today, which is very unique, and that's the role of a health master. Health master is something that's very unique at Sattvic Toastmasters, because Sattvic Toastmasters is Sattvic means healthy living, and we at Sattvic Toastmasters are here to promote healthy living, and we are really honored and privileged to have DTM Dr. Mary with us, sharing valuable insights on how to improve our health by knowing some vital signs. So let me invite DTM Dr. Mary to share her health tip for today. Over to you, DTM Mary.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Vrunda. Welcome to all guests who are here today, fellow Toastmasters as well. Allow me to cultivate patient empowerment in the next 5 minutes. I would like all of you to pay attention because this topic, vital signs, are really vital. Slide, please. The presentation will be in, this is a public presentation, so it will be in layman's language. You'll be able to understand what I'm saying. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box after my presentation. Let's look at vital signs. These are the important measurements of the body's most basic functions. When we talk about basic functions, our body is an amazing machine that strives in nanoseconds to keep us alive. And I mean that. In nanoseconds, if there is a shift in any of the chemical reactions in the body, immediately the body kicks in, compensates, and finds its way to keep us in a homeostatic place, which is actually a medical term, to keep us in balance so that we are alive. Now, 4 of the main basic parameters that we look at in the human body or in a human person who comes to the hospital or even at home would be temperature, our body temperature, heart rate, our respiratory rate, which means the rate at which we are breathing, and of course, the all-important blood pressure. Let me explain the body. Let me explain body temperature. But the body has something what we call thermoregulation. The purpose of that is to keep, again, as I said, to function in its optimum level. The moment thermoregulation is disrupted by virtue of an infection, anything that disrupts our body temperature, we will have what we call a fever. Now, let me tell you, the normal range for a body for a body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit. The moment it goes below any of these numbers, if it goes below 37, say it goes down to 35, that's hypothermia, then the body goes into a freeze reaction. Because remember, it is trying to survive. Our body temperatures that we are looking at most of the time, because we live in, pretty much all of us are living in temperate or equatorial climates, we are looking at anything above 37.5. There are initial reports that at the moment, 37 degrees Celsius is our basic body temperature. Now, if it goes up to 37.5, and above it's low-grade fever, 38, 39, 40, high-grade fever. Now, it is very important. I would like to emphasize that the moment you have a fever at 38, you have to start observing that it doesn't go up 38.5, 39, you actually have to go to the hospital. All right, heart rate. Heart rate 60 to 100. Anything above 100 is what we call tachycardic, which means the heart is beating at a very fast rate. At rest, I'm referring to at rest. If you're exercising and it goes up to 110, 120, that's fine based on your age. So you always have to make sure that it's running between 60 to 100. Respiratory rate is approximately 16 to 22. We don't have any devices to measure breathing rate. What you do is you actually count per minute how often your chest goes up and down, up and down. Now, if it goes below 16, that's not good. Above 20, 22 is still acceptable, but 20 is the cutoff, which means you're already short of breath. Now, the all-important blood pressure. Blood pressure, let me emphasize this. 120 over 80 used to be what was considered normal. Now, according to the new guidelines, it's 110 over 70. Please take note of that, 110, 70. A lot of doctors, we still go ahead with 120, 80, but I'm just saying that the current guidelines is 110 over 70. Now, let's take a look at where we need to be careful. 180 over 100. That's when you really have to run to the hospital, because that's a hypertensive crisis. Now, when it's a hypertensive crisis, you are looking at a stroke. The thing that everyone is worried about is a stroke. 180, 100. All right, please take note of that. Anything in between, above 120, 80, you need to be taking medication or changing your lifestyle. Next slide. You can see my card is already red. The other vital signs are pain scale. We always look at a scale of 0 to 10. If someone is having a lot of pain, that's 8 over 10, 9 over 10. And that indicates to us if the other parameters, the vital signs, are off, we know it's because of the pain. Pain is a very important vital measurement. Oxygen saturation. Very important given the fact that now we have COVID. So anything that goes into a state of below 95, you have to be alert. Below 90, run to the emergency department. All right. Next, capillary blood glucose. That is done usually in hospitals. So we want to measure whether you are hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic. We want to make sure of that. Number 4 and 5 is my personal favorite. I always ask every woman who comes into the ER, what is a LMP? Because a lot of women don't realize they're pregnant when they come in, and we just put down, okay, we prescribe an X-ray, they go in and we have trouble. So this is something. And also menstrual period is a barometer of a woman's health. Last one, appetite or hunger, especially for pediatric patients. If a child feels like eating something or it has hunger, you know that child is not that seriously ill. But the moment the child rejects food, you know this is going to be something acute. Next slide, please. Now, what are the home devices that you should have at home in order to keep yourself ready with your vital signs in place? Number one, thermometer. It's always good to have a mercury thermometer, but I know that's not available in most countries now. Have a thermometer, a pulse ox. We need a pulse ox to measure your heart rate as well as your oxygen saturation. BP meter, I don't even have to speak about that one. A glucose meter for those who are diabetic, you definitely need that one. And me personally, I like to recommend patients to have a fitness watch, a Fitbit, or any kind of watch that ambulatory, that looks into your ambulatory vital signs. When you're moving, when it'll alert you, even though it's not the best, it's not accurate, but at least you know, it will alert you if your blood pressure is going up or whatever numbers that you have put for your alert mode. I have to go now. I have more to say. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mary, for cultivating our healthy habits and taking it to the next level. That was really insightful. Now, let's move on to the highlight of our meeting, the prepared speeches. Our first speaker is a distinguished Toastmaster, Alicia Curtis, joining us all the way from down under Australia. Let me read out a short introduction. She is a Program Quality Director, Area Director for the year 2015-2016, Division Director for the year 2019-2020 for District 70, District Director of the Year awardee, finished all paths, first remote leader for trio for 22-23. So before I invite DTM Alicia for her speech, let me invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Kumar, to explain her speech details. And Toastmaster Kumar is joining us all the way from Kathmandu, Nepal. He is an adventure enthusiast, currently Division Director in District 41, Division D, and his favorite quote is, "Observe without judgment." Over to you, Toastmaster Kumar.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Brunda. Hello, everyone. Today, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia is on her level 3. The speech project objective is inspire your audience. And as the evaluator, I would be looking for how structured and engaging speech Toastmaster Alicia delivers to inspire us. So all the very best, and back to you, Toastmaster Brunda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kumar. And without further ado, let me invite DTM Alicia for her speech. Over to you, DTM Alicia. All the best.
Thank you very much, Varunda. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you all a question. What is your purpose in life? Let me repeat that again. What is your purpose in life? Happiness. I love that. Anyone else want to shout out?
To become successful.
Excellent. Have many of you sat there and pondered, what is my actual purpose in life? What am I sitting here doing on earth? What am I actually meant to be doing? Well, I've been taking that self-discovery journey for the last 18, 19 months. Now, let me fast forward or rewind. Let's rewind back to May of 2022. I was living a very boring, dull life. I was like many people in this room. I was driving a car. I was walking down the road. I was working in the world's most boring industry, insurance. And I'm sorry if there's any insurance people here, but yes, it was a very boring lifestyle. And I was eating food like McDonald's. So for all our health fanatics here today, I was eating Macca's left, right, and center. I was living a very dull everyday life. One day in May of 2022, my life went from hero up here down to zero down here. You see, my life completely changed. I was ending up in the ER department of my local hospital with massive pain in my back, down my right hip, and down my left hip. That was the day I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And it's been a very long journey of one that has been of self-discovery and, of course, purpose. What is my purpose? Now, I didn't know what was going to be ahead of me back in May of 2022. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to drive again, if I was ever going to be able to walk again, if I was ever going to be able to work a job again. Well, I can tell you 19 months later, I cannot drive. I cannot really walk very far. And I've also had to retire from my job because that is the life I now live. And I also lost my house whilst on this discovery journey. But you know what? It's always interesting. You see, 3 months ago, I moved from Sydney down to a beautiful place called Mossvale, almost 3 hours south of Sydney. That situation didn't work out, but I was able to move 3 hours north of Sydney to this beautiful place called Newcastle. I now live with a couple of my friends. And let me tell you, as I've been on this self-discovery journey of trying to find my why, trying to find my purpose in life, I realized that life is not as bad as it seems. Yes, I might have lost my job. Yes, I might have lost the ability to drive. Yes, I might have lost everything else, including the roof over my head and my beautiful cat, Briley, Dushanbe, Tajikistan. However, I found purpose by looking at some of the smaller things in life. You see, from the first day that I arrived in Newcastle, I was not a very happy person because of what I had been through. But one day as I was walking through the park, I watched a beautiful tree just standing there still as trees do. And I watched it move from left to right in the breeze, cultivating, moving with purpose. Now, I'm not usually one who would get romantic about these type of things because honestly, I don't know how one can get inspired by a tree. But I seriously sat there and watched, and I realized that the purpose of this tree was beautiful. It was absolutely mystifying to watch a tree just sit there as the breeze caught its beautiful leaves and it moved from left to right, just beautifully against the beautiful heartbeat that it was delivering. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I looked at that small thing and I realized that my life was not really that bad, despite all that I had been through. And I started to realize that the small things in life actually can be found by just looking at a tree. Over the last few weeks, I've been able to get out and start to move about, even though it is very difficult for me. But I realized by getting out, by doing the small, simple things in life, I could actually find my why. Now, fast forward to yesterday and the other day as well. I found some really amazing things, like simply hopping on a ferry and catching a boat, going from left to right for an hour and watching the ocean as I was sitting on the ferry and just seeing something so beautiful, like the breeze of the wind as it went over the beautiful waters of Newcastle in the background. Even just walking down the road with my friend as we went on a bushwalk was such a simple and small and simple thing. But above all, I realized that life is really not that hard. You see, over the next 6 to 12 months, I want to do something with my life. I don't want to be someone who sits here and just sits here every single day trying to wake up and find a purpose and a why in my life. I don't want to sit here and think, what am I actually going to do every single day other than going to a Toastmasters meeting? So yes, if you do see me at a Toastmasters meeting, say hello to me, but I do not plan to sit here and do a Toastmasters meeting every single day of my life. You see, one of the things that I'm planning to do is to become a coach, a speaking coach, and also a presentation skills coach. I realized I can use my purpose of why and what I do in Toastmasters and do it even better on a bigger scale. So the next time you're looking and find that difficulty in life, look around at the smaller things. It may be the breeze off the ocean. It may even be the tree breeze from left to right as it goes back and forward. Because there's many great things in life, and it's about finding your purpose. And it is truly about finding your why. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Alicia. That was a very inspiring, and I think I had my goosebumps on because of the way you were speaking, and it was really motivating to hear you. Next, before we go to our next speaker, I have to fix something. I forgot to introduce our R counter, such an important role, who would be helping us with our R's and ums and checking out on our filler words, especially me, I know for sure. And so let me, without further ado, and with apologies, invite Toastmaster Vibhuda all the way from Sri Lanka to introduce his role as an R counter. Over to you, TM Vibhuda.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vrunda. So it's normal to forget, in Toastmasters, mistakes happen. So we learn through our mistakes, we learn and grow. That's amazing. So as our counter, my role for today is to note words and sounds that are used to crutch as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, at the end of the meeting. I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibhuda. And before I invite the other speaker, I have to tell something more about Toastmaster Vibhuda. His favorite quote: go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life that you desire, that you imagine. And Toastmaster Vibhuda is again a versatile person. Third place in numerous speech contests, third place in evaluation speech contests, interest, hobbies, singing, dancing, calisthenics, playing basketball. So such a versatile personality. Thank you, Toastmaster Vibhuda. And now let's move on to something that's I have been waiting to hear. That's our next speaker. Speaker number 2. We are having none other than Toastmaster Rohan, who's coming in all the way from Hong Kong. His speech title and evaluation details would be read out by Toastmaster Titin, who comes from Indonesia. But before that, let me give you a brief introduction for Toastmaster Rohan.
Over to you, Titin, for the speech objectives.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Speech objectives and projects.
Yeah. So
Titin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, she's here. Yeah, I would do that. But before that, let me just introduce Toastmaster Rohan. So he's an ex-com member in his club, third place in District 89 contest in international speech, first place for speech and evaluation, third place for table topics, and he's a long distance hiking sports enthusiast. And this is his favorite quote is, Good. Just do good. So with that, let me invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Titan from Indonesia, to talk about his speech details and project details. Over to you, Toastmaster Titan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brunda, the Toastmaster of the meeting. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, fellow Toastmasters. It is my privilege and honor to be Toastmaster Rohan's evaluator today. We are about to listen to Toastmaster Rohan's well-cultivated speech from his level 4 of dynamic leadership path, Manage a Difficult Audience. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice the skills needed to address the audience challenges when he or she presents outside of Toastmasters Club. Duration of this speech, as stated in the agenda, is 7 to 12 minutes. And without further ado, please join me to welcome Toastmaster Rohan, One Man Army. One Man Army, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you, evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I can wax lyrical about how Toastmasters has helped me a lot in my speaking journey. But one aspect of Toastmasters it has also helped me on is my leadership skills. I've joined Toastmasters nearly 2.5 years ago, and since then I've had a meteoric rise within the XCOM. Within 2 months of joining, I was invited to become the secretary of the XCOM, followed by next year, the VPE. And currently, for this term, I am the president of our club, Hongkong Toastmasters. Although it was a great experience to become a president at such a young age, and in such a short time, I knew I had a mountain, along with our XCOM, to conquer. This was actually during our time when, in Hong Kong, COVID was easing up. And so a lot of members decided, okay, I'd rather go out with my friends than really attend meetings. And so we always used to have typical turnout of maybe 4 to 5 people. And this year, I wanted that to change. So, hello, Pramod. Thank you. Is it okay if you can mute your microphone, please? Thank you. And so when we started our new term, me, the SAA, and the VPE, we decided on working with the community center in order to help bolster relations, not only cultivate relations, but have a new place, a new permanent base from where we could have our club. In our first 3 meetings, we had an excellent turnout. We had 16 the first meeting, up to 20 the next, and then the third meeting, which was a joint event, we had no less than 30 to 40 people. I thought that was going to be great. So 3 meetings in the new community center, as this was just a trial meeting, so we were just working with the community center, and we thought, okay, if this is how it's going to be.
Hello, Pramod.
Hello.
What are you having for your breakfast?
Yeah. I know. The speech is going. I think somebody is speaking, right?
I know, Raghu and Pramod. Pramod, I do love your speeches, but please, we can talk about this.
Is that your
We can talk about this another day.
I guess he's talking about his club and his leadership roles.
Yeah. Okay, Rohan.
Well, Mohammed and Lisa, I'm sure you guys would love to know about how I handle the club.
Your club.
But yes,
yeah. I'd like to know how you stage your club.
Nice to see you such a long time.
But look, guys, I know that this is a very exciting all that, but we do have a networking break, and in case that we can then work on sorting this out. However, all these 3 meetings, and I wasn't ready prepared for the storm that would happen next. I realized that a few days after post the meeting. Okay, Lisa, make sure you can take it outside in a private space. Thank you.
Oh.
I didn't expect that a few days later, I would get a message from my VPE. During these planning sessions, there was a lot of stress going on. And my VPE told me, look, Rohan, I can't really work with the SAA anymore. it's just too stressful. There's so many demands going on, and it's just this, and this, nitpicking it and all that. So I'm sorry.
What are the demands?
But I'll be getting to this page. Just wait for this story. And so then she said, look, I just can't do it anymore. Despite my utterances, just stay. Please, come on, just wait a few more months. We can then try and work this out. She said, no, I'm sorry. That's it. Of course, I was thinking the SAA, he's a little bit more hard, a little bit more pushy. But one thing is, I couldn't really say you cannot be in the SAA anymore, considering that this was a volunteer position. And he was also one of the only people who would actually attend our meetings every single time. And so losing the VPE and the VPPR, that was a big blow. And as a result, it was hard for us to present our meetings on Facebook and whatnot. And so the attendance started going down. But just to add some more fuel to the fire, later on, my SA told me, look, Rohan, I'm sorry, but due to some personal issues and health issues, I'm unable to also help. At this point in time, I couldn't really believe my ears. First, my VP and VPPR has left, not attending anymore. And on the other hand, the only other person who is helping me with the community college, the community center, is also gone. I just thought this was unfair. It was just, why am I being, now I'm the only one left, essentially, in my XCOM. And to even hit rock bottom, and that's not even the part where I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom was me hosting a meeting only for one other person to join. At this point in time, I was thinking, what's the point of me continuing with Toastmasters, Tongchung Toastmasters? Why should I just spend all my time trying to get everything set up for only just one other person to join? And with all my XCOM pretty much gone, I was thinking, I'd just rather just get rid of this. Let me reduce my stress overnight just by getting rid of it.
Right?
Hello, GE. I'll tell you about my secrets later. Just keep.
Yes, Raghu.
Let's keep on going. And please move to your microphones. Thank you.
How much more time,
So
Raghu?
I don't really get it. Like, what did you do that made all of them leave you?
I'll skip though. But to answer your question, the thing was, it was because it was more like between them. But then the problem was essentially being within a sort of pressure cooker thing with the thing. It was not I would say it was genuinely nothing to do with me. But I thought to myself.
And not clear what is SAA stands for.
I'll tell you later. The SAA is the Sergeant at Arms, but I love these questions, but I'll talk more about this at the end during our networking break.
Well, the end, when will it come? You kept on pushing all the questions to end.
Sometimes you got to push everything to the end. Let me continue. But we're getting to the great part. One of the best part is, I just thought, good. If everyone else is going to leave, then I will be the one-man army, because I will do what I have to do to then keep this club alive. Because I'm sure I could get rid of all my stress by leaving this club, but then it would also seem bad if the reason that if I leave the club and the club disappears, that will be all on me. And so this is when I decided I will be the one-man army. I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised that I'm currently the president, the VPE, the VPM, the vice president of public relations, and the SAA of my club. From that, I've decided that I have to learn to...
If you don't have like at least 8 people, they're going to close your club anyway.
No, we had 16, but that's the thing. We had 16 members, but we only had 4 or 5 people of these 16 members that even joined. That is the problem.
Don't you think it lessen the quality of the club?
But that's where I come in, because even then, it just seemed that nothing was really, we were trying so hard, nothing was being done. But then with my heart, with my objective of being the one-man army, I made sure that I needed to adapt. I need to find out good ways of trying to present my club in better light. So better posters.
Did you bring in
keeping
guest speakers?
I was going to say that bringing guest speakers. Well, I'll mention later. But the problem was it's a sort of a chicken and egg situation. Do I bring speakers in when there's no one really joining? Or what happens if I bring those speakers in and then only 2 or 3 people come in? That will look very bad for our club, because then will look bad to the speaker, because then they're saying it looks like I'm just wasting their time. That is why I'm always having that chicken and egg situation.
Being a one-man army, how you able to manage all the roles?
That's the question. Yeah, it's something that I've been learning about. It's about me being resilient. I have to take these things. Whatever is going along, you have to adapt. I admit that being a VPM, VPPR, something I've never really done, something I really wouldn't like to do, because I don't like being in the front. But however, the thing is, it's something that I have to, in real life, I need to build up on. And so by taking on these roles, I'm actually making sure that I'm doing my damnedest to make sure to keep contact with anyone whenever possible, even to keep pushing the club. One thing I have to say about cold callers, I know you all have experienced them at some point. And despite them being annoying, you cannot deny that they are very relentless. They will keep going at you till you accept or block them. And that is somehow the mindset that I try and capture for myself. Even being the VP president, even if no one else comes to the next meeting, I will still be there. I will still have that poster up. I will still keep pushing those messages up, those prompts to keep joining. I will be the one there to present all the speeches, even if I have to. If I have to be the TMD, the TTE, and the VPM, I'll show them that I will do it. And then because that way, I'm showing that the president, no matter what challenge is facing him, he is going to be there all the time. And then ladies and gentlemen, me being the one-man army, it has taught me, it's taught me a lot of things that I never knew I could actually do, which is one, being resilient even in the face of adverse danger or adverse events, such as being abandoned essentially by my ex-com. And 2, it has shown me that I can adapt, take on new roles that I never thought I would want to do. And finally, it has given me the attitude of, if you have to do what you have to do, go for it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
That was an excellent speech, and what a resilient speech, may I say. First of all, a power-packed, fire-roll, one-man army. And seriously, you have been very resilient. And for the benefit of all the audience and people who might be thinking, why are we disturbing the speaker? This was deliberate because the objective of the speech was to manage a difficult audience. So we have been all trying to be difficult to you, Toastmaster Rohan. And let us all unmute and give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Rohan, please.
Thank you all for being very difficult audience.
Really sorry to disturb your speech.
No. Thank you. Thank you for being very disturbing. That's what the target was, and you've done an excellent job.
So is your
and I think
still struggling, Rohan?
I keep trying to go, but on my own recently, we've managed to get around maybe 6 to 8 people physically, which was a lot better than compared to before, when it was maybe 2 or 3 online. So we're slowly getting there. And next year, I'm having some plans, meeting with some people who want to say they want to have a Rotary Club member who said, we want to see if you can have like secondary students come in, and then maybe instead of turning for like a general Toastmaster meeting, maybe also have the secondary students come in so then they can learn public speaking. That could be a good way to introduce them to the idea of Toastmasters as well. Sort of a youth leadership program, but not a youth leadership program at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds like you need some recreating going on
Yeah,
in order to have it work and save your club.
that's true. Like, as I said, it's something I have to do. It's something I have to learn on the fly.
Yeah, let's connect.
Mhm.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
That's great. So now let's move on to the third speech. And our third speaker is DTM Dr. Som, representing the vibrant country of Malaysia. Dr. Som has been a Toastmaster for 8 years and member of 2 clubs, the MUCM Toastmasters Club, a university club, and Alto Toastmasters Club and Advanced Toastmasters Club. He served in many district leadership roles, done his DTM in both Legacy as well as Pathways program, and he's a gynecologist by profession and professor in a medical college. Before I invite Dr. Som, let me invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Marlon, who is coming all the way from the picturesque islands of Trinidad and Tobago or the West Indies. Toastmaster Marlon is a Toastmaster for 5 years. He's only totally blind division director in District 81. He's pioneered the concept of the audio flyer for meetings, creates own videos, and he's got a really interesting quote. When life gives you lemons, why settle for just plain old lemonades? Over to you, Toastmaster Marlon, to introduce the speech objective for DTM Dr. Som.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting. The purpose of this Toastmaster speech is to connect with storytelling. It's an elective, and a wonderful elective it is. The purpose is to either one, give a speech that's in a story in its entirety, or to give a speech that has a storytelling aspect in it. Let's all listen to the goodly Toastmaster and hear if they fulfill the objectives of the speech. Back over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Marlon, and we're waiting to hear the speech. Dr. Som, over to you.
Let me take you for a time travel. 10 years back, when I was getting my son from school in my old Honda sedan, he was sitting behind and he told me, Baba, he calls me Baba, why can't all the cars be Honda? I told him, if all the cars are Honda, won't the road look so boring? I don't know what he understood, but he said, yeah, that's right. Now, how did I learn about this diversity? Well, did it suddenly pop up? I got enlightened? It didn't happen that day. It happened even before. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters from Earth. In the year 2004, December, I'm sure many of you remember, there was a devastating tsunami. I was in India that time. 2 months after the tsunami, I got a frantic phone call from my friend, my colleague, who was based in Maldives. He said, so, we need a lot of doctors here. Do you think you can come? I was like, haha. In my mind, that was one of my passion. I would sometime look for an opportunity to serve in an area which is disaster struck. And looks like the opportunity was there. But I had a problem. You know, the Indians' parents and the parents-in-law, I had to negotiate with them. You are going there, which is hit by tsunami? We reached a consensus that fine, I'll go there and negotiate it, but I'm only going there for 3 months as a locum. I'm not going to go there and stay longer than that. I reached the land of Maldives, Malé. When I reached there, the Ministry of Health told me, Doctor, I know you came here for maternal and child health, but is it possible for you to cover the Central Maldives just for 2 weeks? Just for 2 weeks. We won't ask you to do all the relief work so much. And my mind was like, yeah, that's the reason why I came here. But outside, I said, yes, sure, why not? I went to that island in Central Maldives. As I landed there, I was greeted by an Indian matron, a Nigerian doctor from the Commonwealth. He was 6'7", and the local islanders called him the Giant. And most interestingly, the Taiwanese doctor from UNFPA. I still remember her name. She was the happiest. She came to me and said, thank you, Dr. Som, thank you, Dr. Som, for coming. She was there since the disaster struck, and she badly needed that 2 weeks break. So I was actually relieving her. Then as we walked into the island, this Nigerian doctor was in charge of showing me around. And as we took a few steps towards the hospital, I looked, hey, that looks like an ultrasound machine. And he told me, yo, yeah, that's an ultrasound machine. The salt water went in and it spoiled. I was like, okay. After a while, a few more steps, and I see, hey, that's the CTG. That's a machine to check on baby's well-being inside the tummy. And he said the same thing. The salt water went in. It got spoiled. I was like, interesting. Then a few more steps, I saw the anesthesia machine. But this time, I did not exclaim. Because I know the answer is going to be the same. Salt water went in, it got spoiled. Then I finally reached the hospital. It was the primitive setup with destructions everywhere. And I was seeing those patients for 4 or 5 days, and then it happened. A lady came in labor, waiting to deliver. Now, this was her 6th pregnancy. So I asked her, how about your checkups? Is everything okay? Do you have any high-risk factors? And she said, oh, I had checkups, everything done, and I have no issues. I said, okay, do you have any papers? Yeah, I had papers, but they are washed away in tsunami. Well, so I was left with no papers, nothing. She was like a brand new patient to me with no details. After 4 or 5 hours, she finally delivered, thankfully without much problem. A cute little baby boy was born, and everyone in the labor room brightened up. Wow. So I said, okay, great. Mother, baby, all good. I went back to my room. Evening, when I came to the hospital, I saw a huge crowd standing there. All the islanders, almost all the islanders were there. And in my mind, the defensive mind, something happened to the baby. Did the mother bleed? Oh my God, how come the nurse didn't inform me? Then as I went, the hospital manager met me with a smile. He said, doctor, this baby is born after tsunami, the first baby of the island. And everyone's so happy. Then as I walked into the hospital, I got a lot of thank yous. I saw the Indian matron rejoicing, the Nigerian doctors jumping with joy, and so many other relief workers from different countries. I don't know which countries as well. Everyone, including the islanders, they were celebrating life. They were celebrating life in a place which has seen nothing but death and destructions just a few months back. Ladies and gentlemen, we often forget that life is beautiful because of the diversity. We often try to say, I am better than you. My this is better than you. My that is better than you. But we often forget that we are destroying diversity, and destruction of diversity leads you nowhere. Let us all cherish this diversity and flourish together, because life is beautiful only because of this diversity. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Such an inspiring speech, Dr. Som. Really touched, excited, all feelings in one go. And you really cultivated a spirit of diversity with a new reflection. Even the example of the Honda cars and diversity within the cars was something to be imagined. And with that said, we have come to the end of the speech, the prepared speeches section. Next, we move to a very interesting section, which is the table topic session, the most awaited session for today. Our table topic master is none other than DTM Lisa from all the way, she comes from USA. She is a healthcare advocate. She calls herself she believes in healthcare advocacy and storytelling. And her favorite quote is, "Living donors make miracles." She make miracles happen. She is someone who is very enthusiastic and talks, advocates rather, about kidney donors, and she has a very interesting, she's a member of a club, which is the Kidney Donors Club. Today, she's going to be a table topic master and can't wait to hear from her and her interesting table topic session. Over to you, DTM Lisa, for the table topic session.
Thank you so much, Varunda. It's my pleasure to be here. So I'm going to share my screen. And of course, I don't see what I'm looking for as usual. It was here. You gotta believe me that it was here, and of course now it's not. So bear with me for just a moment. I am so sorry. Let's see if we can find this quickly enough. And here we go. Okay, so go back. Stop sharing. Share again. I want to make sure that we click on the sound and then we'll bring it up. Okay, so here we go. And can you all see the screen? Brenda, can you see
Yes.
this? Perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
Great. We're going to spin the wheel. Table topics is an opportunity to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on an impromptu topic. And the timer will show green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, and red at 2 minutes. The timer has his hand up. I don't know why other people's hands are up, but the timer's hand is up so that he should be pinned and we can all see him. And if your hand is up and you're not involved in this, if you could put your hand down, that'd be great, unless you want to answer a question. And I see that Elios's hand is up, so why don't we call on Elios first? And I will spin the wheel and we'll start up our discussion of diversity and unity. So,
can you hear me?
Elios, are you ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. How does being multilingual affect your communication skills? How does being multilingual affect your communication skills? TM Rafat from Bangladesh.
I guess it was for Elias.
No, I think that's for Elios.
Me? Right?
Yep.
Can I start? Okay, I'll start.
Thank you, Elios. Yes, this question is
yes,
for you.
I'll start. Okay, I'll start. how does being multilingual affect my communication skill? Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good day, everybody. If you are expecting me to say good morning in all language, I'm sorry, I'm not that polyglot. But I just want to say that I can speak a little Mandarin, not speak, but listen. I cannot react or respond. And I can understand, of course, my native language is Bahasa Indonesia. So if you are speaking with me in Bahasa Indonesia, I'm fluent on it. And yes, I have cultivated English as my main language. I practice English every day in Toastmasters meeting, and it is affecting me tremendously every single day because I cultivate my knowledge in English. I read books, I read all of knowledge in English because if it is translated into Indonesia, sometimes the translation is not really good. For example, I have this in Bahasa Indonesia, it's called Tatapan Rohani, but in English, we call it daily bread. So if you have the chance to have a meditation or a every single day, you can imagine that you will evaluate what you have happening every single day, and you can reflect on that day. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Elios. And for our next person, let's see if we can call on someone who would like to go next.
Yeah, Ashish was raising his hand.
Are you ready?
Yeah, Ashish, yeah.
Yes.
We can go with the will.
Okay. So let's there's all these bars. Here we go. We're going to eliminate this question, and then we're going to spin the wheel again. And how do cultural differences impact the way we find things funny? How do cultural differences impact the way we find things to be funny?
How do cultural differences impact the way we find things funny? Dear Toastmasters and guests, greetings. I'm Ashish, and I am from India. But in India too, we have many different cultures. There are cultural differences from state to state, which are just few kilometers away. We have different languages. And the things which I found really different was certain things which meant funny in particular language, like certain words which were find funny in particular language was completely different meaning in another languages. Well, that actually changes the atmosphere. If somebody is speaking and he doesn't know that particular language, he finds it to be funny. Now, what I have also observed is, due to this cultural differences, many a times we don't know the person's language. And at that time, if we don't cultivate our language speaking skills, we are not able to understand and join the fun what the other people or the group are having. So we need to cultivate to be more multilingual, more embedded into different cultures, so that we can actually imbibe different cultures and improve ourselves. With that, back to you, TTM. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a great answer. Very well thought out. Thank you. Can we call on Shahid next?
Yes, Lisa, I'm ready.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Shahid. Okay, Shahid, can you share a moment when you felt a strong sense of unity in a cross-cultural setting? Can you please share a moment when you felt a strong sense of unity in a cross-cultural setting?
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today, my topic is share a moment where I can felt a strong sense of unity in a cross-cultural settings. So from my education, from my schooling, I can give you an example. With my name, you might have guessed I am from a Islamic background. So in India, as everyone know, unity in diversity, we have different cultures, we have different religions. So my teacher is a Hindu. I used to go to him daily and I have the interaction with him. There only what comes is the teacher and the student, not any religion. So this is the strong thing which I have noticed. Instead of different cultures and things, different food habits and all those things. So the strong relation is student and teacher one. This cross-cultural thing affected me a lot till my upper primary education. So I was being with the teacher. So and he is teaching a subject which is called Telugu. So I am the topper in that subject. And apart from that, in my office also, I have a friend, I have a colleague who is a Christian. So he has invited me once to a church. So I have been there. And all the being I'm from a different culture and different background. So all the people are well connected with me and in the receiving and talking to me. And that felt, and I felt very emotional that, and it's the religion we feel by grace or by people, we all are one. Like in today's our Toastmaster, we are from different countries, so we are one, so we should cultivate it everywhere. So with that note, I will hand over to TTM Lisa. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much, Sahid. That was really interesting. I had a similar experience at a church, and I know what you mean. It was very moving. It happened a long time ago, and I could still think about it as you were talking. Thanks so much for sharing that. And I'm going to eliminate this one, and then we'll spin the wheel again. Okay, and what we didn't do is to pick somebody. So how about if we pick Navya? Would you like to answer a question?
I think
Yeah, surely, Lisha.
Sabri has. Sorry. Go ahead, Navya.
Navya, would you like to answer a question?
Yeah, sure, Lisha.
Great, thank you so much. How can Toastmasters clubs make everyone feel included no matter their culture? How can Toastmasters clubs make everyone feel included no matter their culture?
Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Today's topic is how can Toastmaster Club make everyone feel included. So I think, and today is the day we are bang on this. So as today our Sattvic Toastmasters Club has organized a multi-country club meeting, right? So this is a testimony that we are actually inviting people across the globe to actually come in and give speeches, participate in different roles. It is a very good opportunity for us to understand, to meet people across the country, across countries. As such, it's very difficult physically to be able to visit countries and understand their culture, but in a virtual environment like this, And now since Toastmasters, after COVID, we are having virtual meetings, so it's a very good opportunity to meet people, right? Even exchange about ideas about their professional life, and even what is going on in their country, what is about their culture. So it gives a very good picture for each one of us. So we should, I think we should have such meetings, such multi-country meetings quite often, probably once in a quarter, or once in 2 months or so. And apart from this, even when we are new clubs are being chartered, then our club officer should be welcoming people across different countries, and we should even do marketing across different countries as well, and within the same country across states, so that we get members from other countries also to join. This will keep the club diverse on our um, diverse as well, and will feel everyone included. Yeah, thank you. Back to you, table topic master Lisa.
Thank you, Navya. I agree, and it'd be great to have you on a committee with a number of us that want to do this again. So thank you so much for that great answer. Okay, who are we gonna do next? How about, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say these names. Bud here?
There are a few hands are raised already. Lisa.
Would you, Sud here, would you like a
Yeah.
question? All
Yes,
right, so I'm
yes.
gonna eliminate this one, and I will spin the wheel again.
Lisa, after this, we can take just one more topic.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Veranda. Okay, if you organized a cultural diversity workshop, what activities would you include? If you organized a cultural diversity workshop, what activities would you include? Said here.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for this question. If you organized a cultural diversity workshop, what activities would you include? After hearing this question, I can say every unique kind of activity I'll pick up from each culture, and those things will be given as a building blocks. And I asked them to make a kind of situation, or the suppose if you want to take as a railway platform or anything, I'll give the building blocks from different culture, and they need to use all those things to make this railway platform, so that the things which are getting from the different cultures will be used and create a unique platform out of these things. And yeah, that is the main thing. So everyone will be included in this kind of activity, so that different cultures will be discussed during this entire activity, and they'll appreciate each other's cultures to build a unique platform out of it.
Thank you so much, Sudhir. I love that answer. I think it would be wonderful to do a longer program with all of us, so that we could explore some of those activities together. Thank you. So one more, and I'm not saying these names right. I am so sorry. I think that that's one of the activities I'd like to include, is saying these names properly. So Vikas HC, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Lisa.
Yeah.
Sabaria.
Yeah, Lisa.
Are you available?
Yes, I am.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate this one, and why does I want to come up? Eliminate, and we will spin it one more time. Perfect. Okay, I love this question. If you could join a celebration from another culture, which one would it be? If you could join a celebration from another culture, which one would it be? Let's have a party.
Okay. So if I could join a celebration from another culture, so probably as we are from the different nations. And as we all know that we have different religions. So we all will have our own way of culture in the last upbringing from our childhood to till date. Okay. So according to me, being part of celebration is nothing but staying happy every day and every moment. Okay. So when we all connected together, so when we all gathering together, so that itself can be considered as a celebration. So if we spend a cherishable moment together, okay, that is what I would like to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas. That was a really great answer. I would like to join you in that celebration. So thank you. Great. Okay, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster Verunda.
Thank you so much, DTM Lisa, for bringing such spontaneity to our meeting with the table topics. I would really like to take a moment to appreciate the creativity and thoughtfulness that you put in for crafting today's table topics. I think you have curated a selection that not only challenges us to think about diversity in a broader perspective, but also celebrate it and bring more richness to our cultures and our mindset. So thank you so much for that. Next, we'll be moving into the evaluation session. But before that, I wanted to do a time check and was wondering, should we go into a quick networking break for 5 minutes, or should we continue and finish within half an hour?
As we
I like the idea of the networking break.
Okay. Toastmaster Rifat, can you keep the timer for 5 minutes and then we just join back? We will just use this opportunity to network and chit chat.
So do
And
you want
anybody who
everybody
needs a break.
to unmute? Or are you going to do breakout rooms? How did you want to do this?
No,
we could.
Like people, whoever wants to take a bio break, they can take, and then whoever just want to unmute and then talk, they can.
Yes, I think that's good. Yeah, whoever wants to unmute can just talk, and whoever needs a break can just switch off their cameras and take a break. And we'll reconvene in 5 minutes.
Great. Thank you so much, Verunda.
Before I dropped off, I wanted to just say that I really enjoyed listening to the speeches as well as the table topics, especially DTM Lisa. That was a wonderful selection of table topics. I enjoyed the diversity portion of it, the inclusion portion of it, and how you tied them all together. I'm especially keen on the topic, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank
So
you
thank
so
you.
much. I appreciate it.
Of course. And while I'm on it, I'd love to invite you to our club too, if you would. We are out of District 10 in Northeast Ohio, and we are actually Diversity for Success. We focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's a specialty club that we have. I'd love to connect with you and perhaps invite you to join us one of these days.
Yeah, so maybe when I came, I could do the wheel and run your table topic section.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Even you
Great.
could bring the same topics.
Yeah, exactly,
you know.
right? I think that would be fun. I went to school in Ohio. I got my master's at Ohio State.
You did?
Yeah, a million years
Oh
ago.
my, both our daughters. Oh,
In Columbus,
our
Ohio.
oldest graduated from there. She's at Tufts now. Our oldest graduated from there, but our second born is just in her freshman year.
Great. Yeah, it was a good school. I enjoyed the football and the basketball, and when I was there a long time ago. The coach was Woody Hayes, and we had a fabulous marching band with an amazing drum major. It was quite a time. Yeah, so it prepared me to be a speech pathologist, and I worked in the field for 40 years. So it was good. I didn't like Columbus,
It just
Ohio.
thrills me to learn. It just thrills me to learn that there is some connection. And in the
Yeah.
speeches, while the speeches were going on, I just couldn't help but smile. We were talking about 36 centigrades, and it is exactly 36 Fahrenheit where I am right now.
Wow. Yeah, it's cold there. It's colder here.
It
So
is.
yeah, New York is really cold.
I'll
So
connect
yeah,
separately
I'll
too.
put
I
my
didn't want to grab
email
all
in
the
the
sound
chat.
bites.
I can put my email in the
Thank you so
chat,
much.
and you can contact me that way.
Certainly. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This was wonderful. I love the energy and creativity of that all of you brought to the meeting. Really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Shravanti.
Yeah, thank you, Shravanti. Thank you for joining Sattvic Toastmasters Club.
Of course. Lovely job, Brinda.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Janet from Singapore, Tampines West Toastmasters Club. I just posted my club Christmas celebration next Sunday. So I invite all of you to join us virtually. I understand most of you are overseas, so virtual, I mean, we have a hybrid meeting, so it's fine for you to join us virtually, and do come and support us that day. Thank you very much.
So Janet, if you can share that within in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sure. I will
If you
send.
can share within the that WhatsApp group that we created, then I can spread it across. Thank you.
And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Janet. Toastmaster Rifat, how are we doing? Are we done?
We are at 4 minutes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of the sound on this wheel, and I don't see where to turn it off.
Close the window.
Oh wait, I think I got it. Perfect. Okay, we're ready.
It's really nice, Lisa, with your creative topics. And
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, that wheel is also very much a creative kind of eliminating the things which were done.
Yeah, that was for the first time even I have seen, so I loved it.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah,
thank
if
you.
possible, could you share? We can use in our other meetings as well, if possible.
Well, I put the wordwall.net into, and it's very easy to follow it. And I did put the whole thing in, but I don't know if it's gonna share. I can share it with Ragu afterwards, and then oh, this is beautiful. I can share it with Ragu afterwards, and he can get it to everyone.
Yeah, sure,
Is that
sure.
customizable or so the
And Ragu, I was also thinking it would be great if you could share that Christmas one with Nomadic Toastmasters.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. It's time that we need to start with our evaluation. So
Yes.
Vrunda, over to you.
Yes. So thank you for everyone for coming back. Let's join, mute ourselves, and let's get ready for a final section. That is the most important section. That's our evaluation section. And we have our general evaluator, DTM Raghu. Let me hand over the podium to DTM Raghu so that he can conduct the evaluation session. Over to you, DTM Raghu.
Thank you very much. Evaluation is the core of Toastmaster program. Why? Because everywhere else, in every part of the world, or most of the life, we get judged, right? People judge us. You are not doing that. You are not doing this. You don't have that. You don't have this. But in Toastmaster, you are evaluated and you're told about your strengths and your improvement areas. That's how we develop and become a better version of ourselves. And today I have a team who will help me in this process. Let's start with the speech evaluation. Our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Kumar, who will be evaluating Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia's speech. Kumar is from Kathmandu, Nepal, and he has completed his EC, effective coaching, and also team collaboration pathways, and is currently Division Director in District 41, Division D. He loves adventures And what his favorite quote is observe without judgment. That's what we do in Toastmasters, don't we? And let me invite Toastmaster Kumar to come on the stage and evaluate Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia's.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Hello, everyone. So today, I, as the evaluator of Toastmaster Alicia's speech, have the honor to share some of my observations. I am reminded that Toastmaster Alicia's speech project objective was to inspire the audience, and in order to do that, she chose to talk about her own story. She started with a question, what is your purpose to us? And that was very engaging and touchy for me because it moved me. Oh, what is my purpose? What do I want to do with my life? Whatever I have done so far, but the rest of it. And we also heard a few responses from participants, both in the chat box and also orally. And she moved on to talk about her own personal story in which she was having such a nice time, boring as she put it, but then the back pain happened, because of which she was hospitalized. So the twist began when she shared about the self-discovery, probably in the city of Newcastle, where she started focusing on small things in life. Most particularly, the fact that she looked at the tree and the breeze, the storm would move the trees, but the trees probably she was referring to was doing its job. It was enjoying the breeze at the same time, very rooted. And till that moment, I don't know whether in online meetings like this, moving hand gestures too much is suggested, but only after she started referring to the tree, her hand gestures were used with animation. And I like that. I like that level of confidence that she was displaying also through the hand gestures at that moment. Now, fast forward, she in a way made a commitment that now she's on a journey to be a coach, the speaking coach, presentation skills coach. And that also sounded very relevant to me because, and probably most of the Toastmasters, because that's what we want to do. We want to speak and we want to inspire people. One feedback which I'm thinking of for Toastmaster Alicia's speech is, although there was a connection I saw between the tree moving and having a purpose in life, I would have enjoyed a little more if there was a more elaboration as to how that tree movement really touched her, how that is related directly to her. Did tree symbolize herself or her dream or anything else for that matter? So that is one. And number two, Toastmaster Alicia also used some props on the background. She showed the city and she also showed her flag initially. But then because she chose to use the city in the background, maybe she could have used hospital or anything else to further animate, because she did it a little incompletely to me. But all in all, I really enjoyed the speech, and I'd like to wish Toastmaster Alicia for further speeches in the future. Back to you, Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kumar, for that such extensive evaluation for Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia's speech. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Titin, who is joining from Indonesia. She is a Division G Director for District 87, and her favorite hobby is reading. And as I say, readers, today's readers are tomorrow's leaders. Her favorite quote is, for to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. Well, let's hear more from our evaluator today, Toastmaster Titin, about our second speaker's speech. It is Toastmaster Raghu.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Raghu. Wow, looks like we had a live audience soundtrack today in your session, Toastmaster Rohan. It added some unplanned percussion to keep things interesting. Toastmaster Rohan, you have done a great job of managing difficult audience. It was really a challenging session, and you were steady, consistent, and firm. If I may analogize your very well cultivated speech as my favorite Indian food, as illustrated on my virtual Zoom background, the delicious chicken tandoori, your speech is exquisite. Toastmaster Rohan, there are 3 points that I like very much from the way how you manage the difficult audience. First one, it was very wonderful of you to stay calm but firm when the audience made some unwanted noises. You took control of the situation, and I believe doing multiple roles in a club meeting has trained you very well with this. You kept focus on your presentation, which was very well done. And second one, it was very good of you to indicate that the audience can continue their chit-chat during the break time. And thirdly, you could join a bit into the audience conversation and guided them to pay attention to your speech again. And you never take it personally, even though you acknowledge their feelings. Toastmaster Rohan, as I usually enjoy my flavorful chicken tandoori, I always add 2 spoonfuls of spicy chili, which is translated into 2 humble suggestions that you may want to consider. First one, as you promised the audience to answer their questions later in your speech, and with the limited time that you have, you may want to provide your email address in the chat box so that the audience will still, those who have any inquiries to you about your speech, you can encourage them to send you an email to make sure that you can secure your time to cover all of your presentation materials and to assure them that they have a way to reach out to you for the questions that they have. Secondly, I thought it would be more wonderful as you respond to the audience with some prepared humor, such as referring the noises as a kind of sound effects clue from the audience. And I was thinking that it would be wonderful as well to insert a message when you respond to the audience, such as, join my club meeting and help me take some roles. By doing it, then you will not have any more questions. All of your questions will have been answered. So, Toastmaster Rohan, keep being resilient in your speeches. You are naturally talented in handling difficult audience. I envision myself listening to many more of your enjoyable speeches in the near future, and of course to enjoy the flavorful chicken tandoori with you one day, complete with the hot spicy chili. Back to you, GE DTM Ragu.
Wow, Toastmaster Titin, I could not agree more. I mean, see, you are bang on the evaluation part, the strengths and also especially the improvement areas. That exactly the one that I had in mind. It's wonderful. I hope this will help the speaker a lot to improve. Now it's time for our third speech evaluator to come on the stage. But before that, let me introduce this. He's a wonderful person. Toastmaster Marlon Perejo. He's joining from Trinidad and Tobago. He's a Toastmaster now for 5 years, and he's the only totally blind division director in District 81. I would say rather around the world, if my knowledge is right. And he's pioneered the concept of audio flyer for meetings, which creates his own videos. He loves reading, watching movies, writing, and public speaking. And his favorite quote is, when life gives you lemons, why settle for just plain old lemonades? Let me invite Toastmaster Marlon to evaluate Distinguished Toastmaster Soam's speech.
I utterly enjoyed that speech. my good distinguished Toastmaster. At the end of it all, you really and truly connect with stories. In times old, when our ancestors sat around the fire, they would entertain each other with stories because stories are sticky. And today, you did in fact meet the objective with respect to your stories about the child, the tsunami child, and even the one at the beginning with the child in the car. In order to make these stories more profound, in order to cultivate an environment of learning, I would suggest this. I would suggest this. Your vocal variety plays a very pivotal role in making your stories have more punch, especially with character development. We must be able to understand and see and feel and know the character. So I would suggest that when speaking about your son, you can mention his son's name. When it comes to, especially when you spoke about Nikoli Baba, try to speak as much as possible in your son's own voice. It's going to be a little difficult, but if it is, you use that, much like comedians such as Trevor Noah and Gabriel Iglesias. You will, in fact, instead of reporting on what happened, you will transport us into what happened. I would also suggest that at the end of the speech, to have a really, really profound quote or something to make us think. For example, at the end of it all, we are stronger, not because we are the same, but because we are different. Diversity is the key, or something along that line. But I must say, I was totally regaled by your stories. As a person who cannot see at all, stories is what connects me with everybody else. So thank you so much for your stories. Mr. Chairman Validator.
Thank you. I think this will stick more in our mind, stories that are sticky, right? Wonderful evaluation, Toastmaster Marlon. Now it's time for the meeting evaluation. And I call it 3-dimensional evaluation with our 3 role players, timer, accountant, grammarian. Before I invite timer and accountant, let me invite grammarian for today, Toastmaster Anne-Marie, who is joining from St. Lucia. She is an advocate by profession, and her grammarian reports are famous across the world. Anne-Marie, over to you.
You're on mute, Anne-Marie. You're on mute.
Better? Can you hear me?
Sure, sure.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, you all cultivated some strong delivery tonight. And I really enjoyed the complexity of all of you. And my grammar gurus tonight with pace, clear, concise language. Dr. Mary, Dr. Sam, Rohan, Kumar, excellent use of eloquence. Well done. Who took the challenge for the word of the day? Put your hand up. I got Toastmaster of the Day, 3, Dr. Mary twice, Ashish twice, Shashi once, and Marlon twice. Was there anybody else? Great incorporation into your deliveries. I got very excited tonight as a grammar police with some very advanced vocabulary. And Dr. Mary, you never failed to surprise me. Equatorial, homothetic, optimum. You're a walking dictionary. And I just marvel at this the eloquence of your language. Rohan, you were very resilient. You mentioned that a couple of times. Metaphor magic tonight, and you all spiced up your delivery. Just a few examples. Beautiful heartbeat of a tree. Alicia, wonderful use of metaphor. And finding your why. I love that. Rohan, you had a mountain to conquer and you hit rock bottom. Borders are fading. Who said that? Was it Toastmaster of the Day? And the global village. So very good examples of some inspirational use of the English language. When life gives you lemons, that was the best title that I've heard for a long time. And Rohan, compete with a hot, spicy chili. I think that was an amazing use of imagery. I can't remember who said that. Was that Titin? Wonderful. I was a little distracted by word endings. I heard all over the world. It's world. Good evening. Good evening. Guess is guest. And instead of and. So dropping the last letter in the word is something that we really have to focus on because we are experts at the English language. Pronunciations, we all have different accents. Nobody cares about your accent, but do not kill the consonants. I heard for we, welcome, well, waiting, and way. I heard vi, welcome, vel, waiting, and ve. Those consonants are very important, and it's a case of just keep at it, keep practicing. There instead of there. That instead of that. Things instead of things. So please focus on the consonants. Take care over slang and jargon. Dr. Mary, I'm just saying, perhaps use a different way of speaking. Alicia, you repeated that several times. Grammar is what we're about. I was ending up, I ended up. Way you were speaking, way you spoke. So shorten the sentences, past tense. Toastmaster of the Day, let me give brief introduction. There's an A there. So just remember the use of the A sound that joins the sentence. In TM meeting, in the meeting. So those little joining words, we tend to forget them. Overall, clear, concise language, delivery, just cultivate the pronunciation and the word endings. Let's raise the bar to cultivate our speech. Congratulations, everybody, as we move to the next level. Over to you, Mr. GE.
Wonderful. Thank you. Let's cultivate the habit of using the word of the day and at the same time cultivating mainly to be inclusive enough towards other cultures and other personalities. That note, let me invite the second person for today, Toastmaster Vibhuda, joining from Sri Lanka. Vibhuda is an enthusiastic Toastmaster and he has won at different levels in its club level, whether it is evaluation or humorous speech contest. And he's currently serving as BPPR and previously he served as Southern Attams for its splendid Toastmasters from Sri Lanka. He loves singing, dancing, and playing basketball. Probably we'll have him sing before he leaves the bed today. His favorite quote is, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagine and doesn't matter. Toastmaster Vibhuda, can you please help us by giving the list of acronyms that we use today?
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Raghu, for that in detail descriptive introduction. Now let's move on to the accountants report. So just a small note, right? So this is not to, this is in order a way that we can improve, right? So, when we, even I'm also using Sostit, so I might have to put it in my list. But yeah, let's work on the things that I took down. So first of all, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia. Alicia, I didn't hear any pause and ask as well, any pause fillers or anything. And Toastmaster Rohan, you had two one four so's and four so's, two but, and yeah, two buts. And Toastmaster Vrunda, our Toastmaster of the day, 3 hours and one so after after I was introduced. So Dr. Som, distinguished Toastmaster, 3 hours, 2 likes, 1 but, and yes, and then Toastmaster Ilios, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So you had 1 well and 2 so's, and Toastmaster Ashish, 3 hours, 1 well, and Toastmaster Shahid, 2 hours and more than 5 times so, and 1 like. This is for the table topics, right? So then Toastmaster Navya had more than 5 times, 1 3 so's, 1 but, and Toastmaster Sudhir, more than 5 1 and Toastmaster Vikas, more than 5 1 3 so's, and Toastmaster Kumar, I heard only 1 so and 1 but, and Toastmaster Titin, I heard only 1 so, and Toastmaster Malan, this for the evaluations. Toastmaster Malan, I heard only 1 but, and our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster, and since she's a grammarian, no post fillers, nothing. And yeah, that's my report. And I would like to hand over controls back to our general evaluator of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vibhuda. Now it's time to know how we are doing on time. Let's ask our timer for today, Toastmaster Reefer, to know how we are doing on time.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Yes, when it comes to time, we can't justify. Yes, I hope you can see the timings behind me. We have 2 disqualification, but yes, when it comes to our health, we can consider some time, and it was a great evaluation from our second evaluator, Toastmaster Titin, I guess. Yeah, but apart from that, we have all the qualified speeches and evaluations. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Reefer. Thanks for keeping it so concise, bro. Well, it's time for me to give my evaluation. We have done as a team an excellent job in having all the role plays from multiple countries. So we had someone who dropped in the last minute, but we were able to bring, and Toastmaster Marlon, thank you very much for taking the role just 2 days before the meeting. Toastmaster Vrunda, excellent work as a VP Education of the club, for collecting all the information required, creating that form and keeping it ready, and also collating as a Toastmaster of the day, representing Canada, and also being able to navigate to the meeting. I know you had a lot of stress, but then you were able to manage that, and that was matters. The meeting went smoothly. All the role players were present, no dropouts in the last minute, and we have wonderful speeches, 3 wonderful speeches and table topics. Distinguished Toastmaster Lisa, you have done a wonderful job getting those topics just based upon the theme. I mean, you certainly deserve an award, probably one day. Now, if I have to talk about some improvement areas, first thing is, if we could have decided on the Zoom background well in advance, I think we could have done better. And as we stand for unity in diversity, it would have made more sense and been appealing for everyone. The disruption for the third speaker could have been better if we had planned the second speaker, sorry. If we had planned better, it would have been better, and then for the experience for the speaker and also for the audience. I think for table topics also, we should have planned how to give the names. For example, Lisa was having trouble picking up the names. People have raised their hand. I've noticed that the distinguished Toastmaster Sabriya and distinguished Toastmaster Sravanti has raised their hands for long. So they didn't get the opportunity. Probably if Lisa was able to see, or somebody coordinated and given her the names well in advance, it would have been easy for her to do that, go smoother. And then also for such a wonderful thematic meeting, let me suggest next time, please plan for table topic evaluator role. That would have helped the team benefit all the table topic speaker to get to know how they can improve next time. The rest, I would say, we all have done wonderful job. I wish you all the best, and thanks to each and every role player and everyone representing your respective countries. Thanks for giving me opportunity to be the general evaluator of the role. I really enjoyed the complete meeting. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM Raghu, for that wonderful evaluation and for guiding us through a very candid and great feedback. And as we approach the conclusion of our meeting, I would also like to extend my gratitude to each and every participant for making this celebration of diversity truly special. As we conclude, let's carry the essence of today's meeting into our daily lives, fostering understanding and appreciation for the multitude of perspectives that enrich our world. Just not the very many facets of diversity that we continue to, that we learn today. So, understanding and celebrating this and taking it from our virtual room to our daily lives, when we engage with fellow people who are not necessarily from our same cultures, let's have a touch of kindness, a touch of empathy, and go a bit deeper in understanding and celebrating that diversity. And before we officially close, let me pass the baton to our president, Toastmaster DTM Pramod, for his closing remarks. Over to you, DTM Pramod.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I request everyone to give a nice pose so that I can take a picture?
Yeah, please switch on your cameras, videos,
Please.
so that we can take a.
Please
Dr. Mary,
wear your best smile.
Kumar, Dr. Mary, Vikas, Marlon.
Request
Navya.
everyone to keep your video on
Navya.
and wear your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raghu. I was just about to do that. Dr. Mary was asking me whether we need a picture or not. Yes, it's time to. Was my gratitude to all the players. They made it possible because we have people from different continents. A true example of diversity, inclusion, and inclusivity. Also, I would add one more I. So I was very curious to understand the speaking styles of people from different places. I've seen a couple of people speaking in Toastmasters meeting before, but this was something very special. Some stories are relatable, some stories are new to me. This is what makes Toastmasters special, especially the online meetings. The best thing I love about online meeting is this diversity. I can attend a meeting and I can know. Today I met a lot of people and we got invitation for joining their meeting, Hong Kong meeting, Singapore meeting, and I came to know that there is one club exclusively for diversity and inclusion based in the United States. So all this made this meeting fruitful. The networking was also fruitful, and the confidence in people, the confidence in the Toastmasters movement also got multiplied because of the conduct of this meeting. Formally, let me explain. This was the brain idea of our mentor and sponsor of our club, Distinguished Toastmaster Raghu, and simply supported by the VP Education. This idea is definitely we have to have such meetings at least once in a quarter. I'm sure that this will be a great motivation for other clubs also to have such meetings and invite people from different places and different clubs, so that we can also get a taste of what is happening in different countries as well. Expressing my gratitude to all the people who joined in this meeting from different countries. This meeting has already recorded and will be shared with all of you. Please encourage maximum club members from your club to participate in such meetings. I'm looking forward to have more such exciting meeting in your club, where you would be inviting us as guests, so that we can experiment and we can continue this journey together as Toastmasters in one single moment. With this, let me close this meeting by expressing gratitude to all the members who attend this meeting. Thank you so much. Now you can stop recording and